wherever you go, whatever they get into. From chill time to everyday adventures, protect your dog from parasites with Credelio Quattro. For full safety information, side effects, and warnings, visit CredelioQuattroLabel.com. Consult your vet or call 1-888-545-5973. Ask your vet for Credelio Quattro and visit QuattroDog.com.
All right, we are going where?
Back to school shopping.
This is the Playoffs for Parenting, aka getting ready to get back to school. As we get ready for back to school,
Doesn't matter your income, your race, your background, whether you have a disability or not.
Our public schools are a place where all kids feel like they belong.
My child.
My children.
my family, my friends, kids,
My community.
All students.
All students.
All students belong in a great public school.
Let's get ready for back to school at nea.org/backtoschool.
This episode brought to you by the following patrons: Heather, Leaf Girl, Min, Jason, Madeline, Alyssa, Laura, Jeremy with the laser eyes, Allie, Kristen, and Tia. And all the patrons want you to know you're loved, you're listened to, and you're a valuable member of this awesome Horror Virgin community. And if you want to hang out with us, do so in the Facebook group, where we'll be hanging out talking about why you wouldn't want to bite a bearded neck daily. While I was flying here, there was a lady in the seat next to me, and she kept like falling asleep and like sort of leaning over onto me and then waking up before she would hit me. And eventually she did hit my shoulder, and then she stayed there for like 10 minutes.
Oh, no.
Yeah, when she woke up, she was really embarrassed.
Right.
It was probably all the drool on my shoulder.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, I felt so bad for her, and now I feel worse. Oh, my God.
Oh, no. Hold on. Oh, my God.
Oh, no. Did the mic break?
My recorder fell and it died. I can't hear you at all. Hang on. That is the last time I ever try and cross my legs and record.
Oh.
I tried to cross my legs and it pulled the recorder off the desk. It was terrible.
Hey, do you remember that one time that Mikey ate all those crickets?
Yeah.
Do you think it gave him powers?
No. I know what it gave him, and it wasn't powerful. It was powerful, but it wasn't like for anyone's benefit.
No, if I remember correctly, it was diarrhea with antennas in it.
You could hear the chirping from the bathroom.
Thank you for tuning into Horror Virgin. I'm Paige.
And I'm your Horror Virgin Todd, which means I don't like scary movies, but you guys make me watch them. And this week, Paige made us watch Renfield. Now, Paige, I think I know the first time you saw this movie because I saw this movie the same time you saw this movie for the first time, and that was Panic Fest, I think 2023, right?
It was. And did we miss the first 10 minutes of it?
That concession line was a little long, and I do think we missed the first 10 minutes of it, yeah.
Hey, we were under the influence because when I was watching the first 10 minutes of this movie, I was like, well, this is useful context that I don't remember from last time.
I don't remember what I remember from last time, if you remember from what Paige said, but
sure.
Is this the one where you opened your pizza box and it hit the person in front of you's head?
So I don't remember if it was this one or Evil Dead Rise.
It was one of them.
It was one of them. I think we saw them back to back. Maybe I'm wrong. Or Sisu? It might have been Sisu.
As I'm remembering back, it was Sisu because that movie slapped.
Yes.
So did this, though. This is the second time I saw it. And Paige, when I went to go see if we could stream it anywhere, I couldn't, and I just bought it. Because I was like, are you kidding me? It's a movie where it's pretty much just Jean-Ralphio, unless like he didn't have Tom Haverford as a friend and he just got really into, instead of, you know, his dad's side of the business, he like went hardcore into what the mom was doing in the Jean-Ralphio verse.
Right.
And just like lost his mind and became a fail son drug kingpin heir, I guess.
I would have killed for his mom at one point to just reach across a table and be like, you've never done anything bad ever in your life.
I know.
I know. This.
I literally thought that. Or if just like in one scene we would see his sister.
Right.
You know.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Yeah. They're so dumb together. I love Jenny Slate and him as Jean-Ralphio and his sister, yeah.
Turkmenistan. Or no, it was Tajikistan.
Tajikistan, yeah. It's Tajikistan, Paige. Come on now. But what did you think about it this time?
I liked it this time. I had forgotten how many times arms got ripped off, and that was great. I loved every time that happened. I have the same critique I had the first time I watched it, oddly enough. And it is also the same critique I have for Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings. Also a movie I like a lot. I like this movie a lot.
I really like this movie a lot, too.
I wish, because they set Awkwafina up, not just as like a friend, but as like a romantic interest, but then they never go full boat with it. And the same thing happens in Shang-Chi. And I'm like, she is a love interest. They are allowed to love her, right? And they stop short of doing it every time.
The way it reads in the movie to me is that she's not interested in him. It's not that he's not interested in her because he's pursuing her.
Sure.
He brings flowers to his like witness statement.
Yes.
And he does get shamed into like picking individual flowers out of the bouquet to hand to the other cops in the room. But like he was there to like see her again.
I do think that, but I also think that she comes around at the end because she's at the meeting with him and everything.
That is true. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if we ever got like a Renfield 2, which we definitely won't, and we'll talk about why.
Yes, this bombed horrifically. Yes.
It did, and it breaks my heart. We'll talk about it though. But like, if we ever did, I do think it would be their love story, and I would watch that movie. Universal, get on it.
I'd watch the shit out of it. I would love it. I would love to watch that. But it was one of those things where I'm like, I feel like 5 minutes after this, they kissed.
Right? Yeah, same.
And we don't get it.
She's clearly either not interested in just like a really, really good friend, or she's interested at the end. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
But it sucks that they don't answer that question, and I agree with you. That does suck. I don't like that about the movie. But I kind of really love the movie in a way, because it's not really scary.
It's not.
But it is like a very fun look at what it's like to date a toxic person.
Mm-hmm.
And Renfield and Dracula are not like dating, right? It's more like a friendship for them, like where it's very one-sided. But either way, it's like what it's like to have like a toxic person like that in your life, and how to like kind of get yourself out of it and figure it out, you know? And I really kind of love that. And then it's also like couched in like a lot of great action.
Yeah.
Where like a lot of arms get ripped off, like Paige, you were just saying.
A lot of arms get ripped off, right? And like, I love Nicolas Cage as Dracula in this movie.
It's Nick on Nick action, guys. It's Nick Holt and Nick Cage.
That's right.
Who's going to out-Nick each other? It's Nick Cage. Nick Cage out-Nicks anybody.
Who's going to give the other one the gift of a teddy bear made of real bear parts?
Honestly, I could see either one doing that.
There you go. I love Nicolas Cage precisely because he's great at the metaphor in the movie.
Yeah, man.
Where we don't often get that many lines from Dracula, except for "come to me" and like.
Of course, bounce on it crazy style. Of course.
Yeah.
The famous one.
Bounce on it crazy style.
Orlok says that.
Go full bug mode, like you get it, and it's usually directed at the Mina Harker of the story, or in the case of Nosferatu,
Ellen.
Was her name Ellen?
It's Ellen, yeah.
Ellen, yes. It's usually directed there. We don't get a ton of information about Renfield and Dracula's relationship. And so it's ripe for a performance in that section that is textbook toxic narcissist of like, oh, I'm actually the victim. I'm the one who's hurt because I have to hurt you because you hurt me. Like, I was like,
100%. The scene where he's actually calling Awkwafina to like ask her on a date.
Yes.
And he walks in and Dracula's sitting at his kitchen table. And this is one of the best jokes in the movie, I think, to me, because he's like, how did he get in? And he looks down at his like front doormat and it says,
hilarious.
Welcome, come on in.
Come on in.
And then he's like, shit. It's so stupid, but it's so funny.
Something I've never thought about before.
Yeah.
Until that moment.
He's like, oh, I guess that is a rule. That's like one of the rules that my boss has to follow that I've been like a servant to for 200 years. It's just so habit. I just forgot. It's so right. Dumb. I loved it so much. But in that scene is 100% like textbook gaslighting of like, I'm not the problem. You're the problem. Here's why. And man, if I haven't had conversations that went similarly.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I feel like the older you get, the more therapy you do.
Yeah.
The more interactions you have with people. Ideally, the more you do learn to kind of trust your intuition of like, yeah, no, I don't think this was my fault.
Yeah.
Like, pretty sure you're being toxic. and to just disengage from those people.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing that, like, I was kind of glad that that's where this movie takes him, is that he decides to just fully disengage, except for the last fight. Because, like, fighting with a narcissist tends to only hurt you because they will just destroy everything. Like, they do not care. Yeah. And it's one of those things where, like, I feel like so often the urge to be right and to be recognized as right keeps people fighting with narcissists longer than they should.
Is this a pattern you see in yourself, Paige? Because that's something I've done for sure.
It's absolutely something I have done that I pride myself on not doing much at all.
Anymore? Yeah.
Anymore.
Yeah, same. So for me, it's like a people pleaser problem, you know, like I like to make people happy and just like whatever. But yeah, it sucks.
I have turned a corner where there are some people, I enjoy making some people happy.
Yeah. That's what it is for me now too. Yeah. So it's like
some.
Yeah. No, I know.
Specifically some.
But like the people in your life that you love and hold close, you know, like your friends, family. Yeah, that's what it should be.
Yeah. People at large, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I will block you on sight. I don't care. I don't. Now, here's the flip side though. Because, like, this is why I stopped fighting with people on the internet. I won't. You won't catch me doing it. It's not worth my time. I just block people. I don't give a fuck, right?
Yeah.
What I have chosen to do instead that makes me feel so much better is just when I see something cool that I like online, like somebody wearing a cool outfit or somebody making cool art or doing cool things, instead of fighting with anyone, I just hype those people up and say it's cool. And then if anyone tries to start fights with me, I either completely ignore it or I just block them, because I am choosing to only hype people up on the internet. And if you're not going to be on this fun hype train, I ain't talking to you. And I don't feel bad about it because I don't fucking know who you are. Faceless profile calling me fat. I don't care.
But if you want to, you can come on ride that train. That Wesley hype train. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I should mention while I'm yelling this at you, I'm in a hotel right now.
That's right.
And it's almost 10 o'clock.
Right. That's why. So I'm going to need you to repeat a little loudly for me. Bounce on it crazy style.
Yeah. So Paige, what the question that I immediately wanted to ask when you said a very specific few words was...
Go bug mode?
Yeah. Do you think he ever went full on bug mode while he was having sex? Because like, would. Are you kidding me?
I mean, Nicolas Hoult, of course.
If you could at the drop of a hat go from, you know, regular sex god to like actual sex god, like not just like in your head, but also in their head. They're like, oh my God.
Wait, do I have to eat a bug to make that happen?
That's my question, Paige. This is what I'm asking you. This is the conundrum. Would you eat a bug to be able to bounce on it crazy style? That was the question I wanted to stop you mid like thought to ask. And I'm so glad I didn't, but it was killing me the whole time.
No, I don't think I could.
Paige, that's an easy yes. I would literally snort a centipede like Ben Schwartz does at the end of this movie every time.
My husband and I have had discussions about eating bugs recently.
I'm going to need you to say more on that subject.
That's right. Don't worry about it. We can poll Jake if we want. There's a very, very, very good Oaxacan restaurant in Koreatown.
Okay.
Here. And they specialize in like different types of mole, and the food is incredible. But they also are one of the few restaurants in town that serves crickets, like grasshoppers.
Great. Yeah.
And I saw them on the menu the last time I was there. I was like, is that some kind of drink? Like, I was not thinking that it was actual bugs. And Jake was not with me. And then I came back after having dinner with the friend, and he was like, did you get the grasshoppers? I was like, no, what are those? Like fried dough? And he was like, no, it's literal grasshoppers. It's like one of the best things they have there. And I'm like, what? And so then I was like, well, we got to go back to that restaurant. The food was great. He's like, yeah, we got to order the grasshoppers. I was like, I don't think we do. This is like when Mikey ate all those crickets.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it. I've actually had a chocolate covered cricket once and I hated it. And it was literally because I have an overactive imagination and I just like could not get it out of my head what I was eating, and it was just too much for me. That's a me problem. I get it. So if you like them, enjoy them. Nothing wrong with you. I just don't like them.
I have eaten a cricket before.
I almost ate one the other night when I was riding my skateboard. We talked about that.
True.
Yeah, like it just tried to flew right in my mouth. Yeah.
One that was like prepared for eating.
Yeah.
And the flavor is, because they don't taste like much. They just crunch. but it's the spiny legs that really ruin it.
Honestly, the crickets are fine, but it's very clear their legs are like Count Orlok's at the end of Nosferatu.
Oh, no. They skipped leg day their entire cricket lives.
For like a millennium, they skipped leg day, Paige. Also, I haven't seen a beatdown this brutal at the end of a movie since, like, honestly, like the printer from Office Space in that field, except instead of toner, it was blood.
Love it.
It was awesome.
Love it. I mean, the only thing I can think of is at the end of Fresh where they've beaten the shit out of him in that kitchen and then they get the gun.
Yeah.
And she tells him to smile and then shoots him. But then his wife shows up and they beat his wife to death with the shovel while saying women like you are the problem. That's up there for me with this one.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Or the end of Death Proof where they kick him to death.
Oh, they do kick him to death, yeah.
They do kick him to death.
Yeah.
Should I ask Jake if he would eat bugs to be incredible at sex?
I think you should.
Hey, Jake.
I think I'm a bad friend.
I'm not sure how much of that we could hear, so I'll recap just in case.
I heard everything, Paige. He said, sure. Paige, I turned up my side of your audio so I would hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, he said, I don't think I need bugs.
Oh, of course.
And I was like, I don't think you do either.
I wasn't insinuating that. Yeah, at all.
This is not necessary, right? But then he was like, yeah, sure. I've eaten bugs on accident a bunch. And I was like, on purpose. He's like, I've eaten bugs for less. So, yeah, Jake, pro bug. Paige, no. McCready, pro bug.
Very pro bug, yeah.
He's his father's son. Here's how I know he's our biological child. He'll eat bugs like Jake, and he likes to rub his face against Diet Coke cans.
I learned it from watching you, Mom.
I learned it from watching you, Mom. I need them to have my scent. Late night energy, no cuts.
It's very late night energy for me, for sure. It's not quite so late for you, but I'm East Coast.
6 p.m. for me.
This is East Coast to West Coast to coast horror virgin going on right now, guys. I'm so sorry I said it like Casey Kasem would have in the 1960s, though. I do love that Jean-Ralphio literally gets the shit kicked out of him at the end of this movie, and like it made me so happy that Ben Schwartz is in this. Like, no joke. I loved seeing him in this movie again. And man, I forgot he was in it. So when I saw him, I was like, hell yeah, this is amazing. It's going to be great.
I like that Ben Schwartz dressed like half the dudes I went to junior high with. And allow me to explain.
So what you're saying is dress great. He dresses great.
And I'm sure you remember this because you were alive at the same time, but like kind of baggy black pants, right? But then those shirts that had like flames and anime characters on them, like the button downs.
Wait, the button downs that had like Dragon Ball Z characters on them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's got like that, and then he's got like a jacket on over it, and he's got tattoos and stuff. But like, if you took the tattoos away, that's just a 7th grader. That's just one of them rolly backpack assholes.
That's what I've always said about Ben Schwartz. If you just take away the tattoos, that's a 7th grader right there.
That's a 7th grader.
Yeah. I will say it's really nice after all of these years that Dracula could find another reason to hate the church. Just like a new reason to hate the church. It's so nice to see him sort of fall back in love with his hate for the church to this new avenue of mental health.
Oh, man. I did love every time somebody came to like step to Dracula. He's like, did the church send you?
I know. And he's like, no, I'm a criminal.
I'm a social worker. I'm here to take the census. Like, yeah. Right.
It is funny though, but ultimately it is the church that like steals Renfield away from him. So there you go. Like it's the support group.
The support group at the church does steal him away.
Yeah.
You were absolutely right.
Yeah. So like, I guess, you know what, Dracula, you're right.
Good thing they didn't send Ed and Lorraine Warren after. The church sent you? Yeah, sent us.
I do have to say that this is the first time that Nicolas Cage has ever been stopped by a circle of cocaine.
I do love that at the end where he's like, what kind of powder was it? He's like, cocaine. Apparently you can use any powder if you say the right word.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
I thought that shit was really funny, man. Yeah.
Yes.
But anyway, Paige, maybe we should just go through this movie scene by glorious scene.
Let's do it. We open with basically no credits in a support group.
Thank you.
I know you love this, Todd.
I do. It's great. And they do a great job of setting up where we are in Renfield's life.
Yes.
And like in the first 2 minutes of this movie, we know exactly where we are. So like if you are in a long line in a concession stand, make sure you get your ass back to your seat so you understand what's happening the rest of the movie is what I learned.
Yeah. So here's what I think we missed. So they set all this up.
I do want to say this is what we missed the first time we watched it. We didn't watch it again for this. So we do know what happens.
We know. But this is the, like, you're probably wondering how I got here. Like that kind of whatever.
It's 100% that,
right?
Yes.
You're probably wondering how I got here. And then we do get a cut to like a black and white version of classic Dracula, but with Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult. I was like, what? I don't remember this. And that's when I was like, oh, right. The fucking blood bag alcohol and pizza boxes. Like, it all coming back. It's all coming back to me now.
We had a really great time at Panic Fest, guys. We always do.
Always great. That was also the year we found the dance club that was closed by the following year that we came back.
I can tell why.
It was an interesting crowd.
Swingers Paradise.
Yes. Anywho, this basically establishes that Renfield was the real estate lawyer that brokered the deal with Dracula.
Do you remember from last week with when Nicholas Hoult was that guy also in that movie?
No, different guy. But that was also 2 weeks ago. So it is a different character. Renfield is the guy that goes crazy and drinks the birds. That's Renfield. So his boss.
Yeah.
Renfield would have been his Nicholas Holt's boss.
I guess Hair Knocked or Connacht.
Hair Connacht.
Yeah.
Or in the Coppola Dracula we did, the guy that ends up in the prison like, he's coming! And just like ripping animals and cats to shreds and shit. That guy. That's who Renfield is. So this is almost like, what if Jonathan Harker had never gone to the castle, is basically how this movie functions.
Right.
Anyway, he was a real estate lawyer. He wanted to broker the deal. He did it so that he and his wife and child could have a better life, but unfortunately ends up enslaved to Dracula. Now, they then also pull a True Blood and are like, here's the happy life that he and Dracula had through the years. And you see it start out kind of exciting and he's procuring people and they're rich and castles and everything. And then you see it slowly get more and more depressing and it's not all it's cracked up to be.
It's called vamp bombing, Paige.
Yes.
The first few 100 years are great.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. And then you look over and you're like, wait, Alexander Skarsgård's a vampire and I could have been that guy's familiar the whole time? Shit.
I'd like to get familiar with that.
That's what's up. That is what is up. Anyway, he's disenchanted with it. He's starting to feel bad about murdering tons of people.
I think he's gotten to the point where he feels like, I'm doing these terrible things and I'm not really getting much appreciation for it. So like, maybe this isn't serving me anymore. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all been there.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
We've all worked at retail. We've all been like mopping up a kid who pissed in the middle of the clearance section and being like, they ain't paying me enough for this shit.
You mopped up a whole child? Did he like pass out in his own piss?
No, thankfully, I did not. It was, oh God, this is one of the worst things that anyone's ever done in a store. We had this giant Le Creuset bowl on clearance, and we did not have a functional bathroom in the store. Like the health department said we couldn't bring people back there, and if we did, they'd close the store. Anyway, we don't have a bathroom, right? And so mom was like, yeah, I know you have one back there. And we're like, I promise you I can't let you back there. It's very dangerous. And she was like, fine, and stomped off and deliberately had her kid pee in a giant Le Creuset bowl in clearance. And I don't know how that small child's body contained that much fucking pee.
Should have let him go to the bathroom.
Good. I mean, like, there wasn't one for him to go with.
Oh, yeah. I'm not. Yeah, I wasn't there. You made the call you had to make.
Out of my control.
Yeah. Do you think he peed in that bowl because he read the sign and he was like, oh, I guess I have clearance to pee in these bowls?
I mean, that's entirely possible. Who's to say?
Solid wordplay. We should move on, though.
Anyway, yeah, he's unhappy.
Right.
Right. But we do see a time at which, and this I do think we missed, the church with the power circle.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of like Van Helsing and like the church.
Yes.
And like, I don't think they actually say anyone's name, though. So it's like the stand-in for those things. But
they're just like, we're hunters. We're the last of our kind.
Yes.
And one of them looks kind of like a knight / Van Helsing kind of a thing.
And one's just straight up like a bishop in the Catholic Church.
Right,
Yeah, like,
right.
Yeah.
He's got hella I'm about to be Pope energy.
Yeah, he's got the
Like,
fish hat. He's got everything, guys.
Right. When red smoke goes up, you know they've killed a Dracula, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Right. But they've created the circle and they're like, hey, Renfield, you've got a chance to finally kill him and help everyone.
Okay, but I love what Dracula does here because he sort of explains what I call the traitor's conundrum, where it's like if your master dies
Right.
and you become free from that person, the community is still going to judge you for the things you did when you were working for that person.
Yes.
And he is right. Like, I don't think that they would have let him live like a long, happy life.
I don't know.
I think he would have been in whatever the, I don't know, 1700s equivalent of a prison would be.
But perhaps he might have gotten lucky and someone more powerful than him needed to hide that they were also involved. And so they broker a deal with him and transfer him to a minimum security prison. I've never heard of that happening before. I'm just saying.
It can't have ever happened. Yeah, that does not sound like it would happen.
Right. It definitely doesn't sound like a woman who was absolutely complicit in the abuse and assault of many, many minors over many, many years in many, many countries.
But Paige, why would she lie? Like, well, at this point, what would she gain except for a lot better circumstances than what she had previously? Like,
correct.
Other than that, and you know, a substantially much better quality of life. What did she stand to gain?
Right.
I'm sorry. We should probably cut a lot of that, but like,
keep it all in. Fuck that bitch.
It's so crazy, right?
Keep it in. Anyway, Renfield kicks his shoe through the power circle.
Yes.
And that frees Dracula, and he straight up rips that priest's head off.
He does.
Explodes. They do manage, the Van Helsing guy manages to get the curtains up, so the sun lights Dracula on fire.
Yeah.
And Renfield basically is like, this is how it always happens. We're somewhere for a while, but then people catch on, and then eventually people try to kill him, and then we have to go to a new place, and I have to nurse him back to health.
Yeah, it's like the cycles of abuse, guys. It's
yes,
it's very common. I mean, the difference is like it's on a very big scale, and it involves like a bunch of murders, so they have to like move to a different whole ass town every time.
Right.
And this time, it's very clear through sort of some clever cuts and just establishing shots. We're in New Orleans for the rest of the movie.
Yes.
And honestly, it doesn't say where they started out, so I'm sure they were shot in the same area, you know?
Probably. But yes, New Orleans. And this is where we get him swallowing a bug.
Yeah.
And he explains like, oh, that gives me Dracula's powers for a little bit. Now, that is a thing from OG Dracula.
I figured, yeah.
It's also in the Coppola Dracula that we watched that Renfield does have some of his powers. Namely, Renfield has the ability to psychically communicate with Dracula.
I love the way they do that in this movie too, because it's really like Dracula's bored and he wants to play with his little like servant or whatever. He's like, Renfield, what are you doing? It's like just very funny. Like, I don't know. It made me laugh. Probably because I've been through something like this.
Well, and it's very similar to the way True Blood handles it, but it's basically the vampire who made you can call you if you're a vampire.
Right.
So it'll just be like, Jessica. And then it like pulls her body.
Wait, it's not like a phone call? It pulls their body?
Yes, they are unable to do anything but follow and comply. And if they don't, they get sick.
I'm sorry. Every vampire has to follow this rule?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
As long as their maker is alive. Once your maker is dead, if somebody kills your maker, you don't have that rule anymore. Or if your maker basically, like when somebody, emancipation, if you're like an emancipated minor, where like your vampire parent basically agrees that you no longer have to obey them. And they like, I release you and then you don't have to deal with it. But like if they don't do that, then yeah, they can just like, Pam, come here. And it's like, ugh.
And then you just get pulled supernaturally in their direction?
I mean, they usually walk or drive, or as long as you're moving in their direction, you're fine. But if you try to stop from moving in that direction, you get super sick and like blood comes out of all of your orifices. This is also why in the witch season, the witch gains this power and tries to pull all the vampires out during the day.
This is like world breaking like lore that I hate.
Why?
I don't know. Just because it's silly. Like anybody could exploit that and would ultimately for their gain. So it's just at that point, it turns vampires into an MLM more or less. And like you got to keep your upline like in, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just like you're just selling for Advocare. I thought you were a Dracula. What are we doing?
It's only your immediate upline. It's only the vampire that made you. So 1-to-1.
Yeah. But like, okay.
But that's that's a thing that exists always because Dracula can also do it to Renfield. The difference in True Blood is it's only vampires, it's not familiars.
Well, yeah, but like Renfield doesn't get sick when he's not like serving Dracula, at least not in this movie. I don't know about the other ones.
He kind of does. He gets like, it like affects him bodily. Because he does say that if Dracula calls him, he kind of has to go.
Well, I mean, yeah.
And it pulls him.
Yeah, I mean, Dracula definitely will come and fuck your shit up if you don't.
No, I mean like at Cafe Du Monde, it like pulls him out.
Oh, it does. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
There you go, guys.
There you go.
Such a weird rule.
And also watch out for doormats.
I know, right?
Such a hilarious. Well, I love loopholes like that in the invitation rule of vampires.
Yeah, it's great.
This one's especially funny to me. But we cut to him in the group and he's just listening. He hasn't shared much about himself. And the group leader's like, hey, do you want to share? And he's like, no. And he's like, well, okay, take your time. But I just hope you're getting something out of being here. And he's like, of course. And we find out that he's basically pulling like a Dexter.
Okay, yeah, but like specifically for just the worst people on Tinder. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
He's not going after, well, and Dexter, I guess, didn't go after just specifically other murderers, but it was just other bad people.
He just went after bad people. Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's more like the people who abuse their partners.
Right. I'm reading a romance novel right now about serial killers that only target other serial killers. I'm reading about as much sex as I am gore, and I'm not sure if I'm into it, surprisingly.
I mean, it sounds like a spy versus spy, but like...
It kind of is, and that's kind of what's keeping me into it.
Yeah.
But there's a whole lot of like, pulling people's eyes out and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's a lot. Yeah. And in a movie, I'm like, cool. For some reason, reading it, I'm like, ugh.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know what that is. Anyway, so he targets Mitch, who is Caitlin's boyfriend. We cut to where Mitch is, and we do find out some stuff about Mitch, that he's a drug dealer, he's mean to Caitlin, and he still fucking loves ska. And honestly, you could do way worse than ska.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I really like most kinds of music. It's hard for me not to like music unless it's country. And so, yeah, I vibe with a lot of ska.
Yeah.
But I do think their criticisms of ska in the movie are sound.
That cracks me up every time where it's like, isn't it 80% horns? No, that's an oversimplification of the entire genre. What am I saying?
Yeah, because she like is reflexively saying that because that's what her like previous relationship would, I guess, sort of demand, which is kind of silly, but like, the dude's just way too into ska.
Yeah, right. I did also love the fake ska bands that they listed.
Were they not real? I don't know.
Here's the thing. I don't fully know. And I didn't think to write them down. I just know it happened in this scene. And I was like, and then forgot to write them down.
If it wasn't the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones and the Cherry Poppin' Daddies, I definitely don't know.
It was not.
Yeah.
And Cherry Poppin' Daddies are more rockabilly, but
fair. Yeah.
It was things that sounded like that. Which is equally as funny, where it's like, might as well be that. But we arrive at the warehouse where they are processing a bunch of cocaine that they have stolen from Teddy Lobos, criminal of note. And they're like, I think I see something outside. I don't know. The lights go down. Renfield comes in and they're like, oh shit, you can have the cocaine back. Just please don't kill us. You're the hitman they sent to kill us, right? He's like, worse, I'm a friend of Caitlin's. Yeah. And they're like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? Like,
I kind of love this fight scene between these three dudes and Nicholas Hoult because, Paige, have you ever seen someone juggle handkerchiefs?
Yes, I had to do it in my circus unit at high school.
Yeah. So his fight style in this is pretty much that, but instead of it being a handkerchief, it's a chloroform rag that he's using to knock these dudes out.
Yep.
And it's very funny to me.
It's great. My favorite part is he literally was like, what did they say about a hitman? And then who should show up but the hitman whose name is Apache Joe. And immediately after you hear that name, because your initial reaction upon hearing it is like, oh, I wouldn't. And then Ben Schwartz says, he cuts people's tongues out. You tell him it's racist.
He literally says, you tell him his name is racist. Like they literally say it's about the name, guys. They're talking about the name.
Right. And you're like, well, thanks. I was thinking that. So thank you.
But also, I get it. He kills people for a living. Like, yeah.
Right. Renfield eats some bugs. He fights this hitman. He punches the hitman's head onto Ben Schwartz's windshield. And he's like, what the fuck? And drives away.
Paige, a minor correction.
Sure.
I believe it actually hits the passenger window and sticks to it for like it's probably more like 7 seconds.
It kind of like slides down a bit.
While we get Ben Schwartz just like yelling as it slides down. Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah.
It's a little bit of that scene in Audition where she throws that foot and hits the sliding glass window.
I think that's the most recent movie that made me throw up. Ugh.
I mean, for sure. That for a movie that's meant to be traumatizing and scary, that throw just makes me laugh every time. Like, it's so, I don't know.
She's so happy when she throws it.
It's so funny to me.
She's loving it, guys.
And yet I'm like reading about somebody, stringing eyeballs into a spider web, and I'm like, I don't know. Not built for it, apparently.
You know how everything's a subscription now? Music, movies, even socks. I swear if
To continue this ad, please upgrade to Premium Plus Platinum.
What? No. Anyway, Blue Apron.
This is a pay-per-listen ad. Please confirm your billing.
Oh, that's annoying. At least with the new Blue Apron, there's no subscription needed. Get delicious meals delivered without the weekly plan.
Wait, no subscription?
Keep the flavor. Ditch the subscription. Get 20% off your first 2 orders with code APRON20. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
Basketball game? Crushed it. And the day's just getting started. Now, kicking it with my crew. When I need a quick snack, Go-Go Squeeze Active Fruit Blend with electrolytes pouches are always in the starting lineup. Made with real fruit and select electrolytes. And so tasty. From workouts to hangouts to whatever's next, I go with Go-Go Squeeze Active. Snag yours on your next store run. Available on Amazon.
Anyway, he screams his way away from the warehouse, hits a DUI checkpoint where we meet Awkwafina and her partner.
Yeah.
And she's frustrated because she's like, there's tons of missing persons around town. We need to investigate them. I want to be doing more than just a DUI checkpoint. And who should show up but Teddy Lobo? And she's like, I think that's Teddy Lobo. And the guy's like, I don't think so. And then Ben Schwartz leans out the window and goes, I'm Teddy fucking Lobo. And you're like, no, it's him. He's there.
It's definitely him. Yeah, it's Mr. Lobo. Paige, thank you first off for understanding
You're
what
welcome.
I was saying there. And also, I love when he looks down and sees like the bag, like the gym bag full of cocaine.
So much
And then he
cocaine.
decides to get out of the car and run yelling, I have a prescription for this.
I have a prescription for these.
Yeah, I lost my mind. He's so funny, guys. Ben Schwartz is amazing.
I have a prescription for these. And then he throws the bag
Yes.
to ditch it.
Yes.
Even though they've already seen it.
Well, it's many.
Yeah.
It's many bags. One of them hits the partner in the face.
Which, by the way, you'd be at the hospital after that happened to you. Because,
Yeah.
how much cocaine is that, right?
Yeah, they would want to scrape it off you and sell it.
You better hope it's mostly baby powder at that point, right?
100%. Yeah.
Oh, man. Anyway, they chase him down. Awkwafina ends up throwing her baton, knocking him down. They arrest him.
I love the cut to the next shot because it's him in like the SVU interrogation room, more or less.
Right.
And he is singing so hard. Like he is like
Yes.
ready to give names, ready to turn state's evidence. And then the second that the mom, I guess it's not the mom, it's the lawyer. It's the lady lawyer who comes in. I'm sure hired by the mom, the family lawyer.
Right.
And he's like, I didn't say shit.
I didn't say shit.
You'd be so proud of me. It was so funny. It was so funny.
That, oddly enough, is a few scenes from now because first we go to the old hospital where Dracula is convalescing because Renfield has brought him Mitch and his ska friends.
Yeah.
And Dracula's like, this is shit.
Yeah.
Like, this food is trash. Like, he's like, I want happy couples, tourists, nuns, and a busload of cheerleaders. It's not a sexual thing. It's the purity. I deserve higher quality dead people, essentially.
I love his asks because it's like, I'd love like just maybe like a bunch of nuns, maybe like think of that, or maybe like a bus full of cheerleaders. Like that would work. Mm-hmm. And I love that he like questions him on like the cheerleaders. He's like, oh, it's not about the gender, bro. It's like, it's just food. I just like the food. Like I really like that they like drill in on it. It's like not sexual at all, guys.
Right.
He just really wants the blood.
The blood.
Yeah.
This is the first time we see him flip it, where he's like, hey, the modern world has different rules. People are easier to track. You know, we have to be more careful. And he's like, oh, I don't care about their rules and you're my servant, so you shouldn't care about mine. So it's actually really inconsiderate that you're not bringing me the food I asked for.
Yeah.
And this is kind of your fault.
But this is that gaslighting kind of bullshit that like actually happens. You know, like I work so hard. Like, why can't you just XYZ or whatever? You know, like it's like that.
Right.
It's gross. I hate it.
It's the worst.
But I actually kind of like love its inclusion here because of course the relationship would be like this. It's a vampire and you have some of his powers, but he is way more powerful than you. And like, yeah, it's a huge power imbalance, literally.
Literally.
Yeah.
And this is also where we find out, because Nicholas Hoult got kind of slashed across the abdomen, that Dracula's blood can heal him.
Yes.
Which again is pretty standard in Dracula lore.
Yeah.
But then we come back to the police station where he's like, I'll tell you anything. Murders. We murdered people for stealing our drugs. That's a twofer. Like, it's everything.
Yeah.
But the lawyer comes and gets him out. And at this point, Awkwafina's like, the fuck? We had him dead to rights. Like, why did you let him go? And they're like, I mean, paperwork, you know.
It's very clear that like the department is on the take for this drug like family, and which his mom is the head of, more or less.
Right.
So yeah, it's like that's why nobody cares, more or less.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we cut to, she goes to see her sister who's on the FBI task force, and her sister's like, hey, I'm just as mad, but like, you have to be more strategic in how you're pursuing this, or else you're not going to get the results that you want.
Yeah.
We cut to Teddy Lobos meeting with his mom, played by Shore Agdashlu, who we've seen a number of times. I think actually on Romancing the Pod, we've seen her more because she played.
Yes.
Or no, she was supposed to play God.
Yeah.
In Adjustment Bureau.
But she's been in a bunch of stuff.
Oh yeah, she had a whole arc on Law and Order. It was really good.
Yeah.
But she is like a torturing, ruthless, evil mob queen. Great. And she's just like, hey, Ben Schwartz, you're not scary enough because people are stealing our drugs. They should be so afraid of us that they would never dare. And he's like, I'm trying, Mom. And she's like, do you need help? Do I need to kill you? Like, what is happening? But we cut back to Awkwafina trying to examine the crime scene, and she finds the pen that Renfield used to stab the assassin.
Yeah, it's still like covered in the blood.
Yes, and it has the name of of a local restaurant on it. So she goes to the restaurant. Renfield is there.
Yeah.
And who is also there? A bus full of cheerleaders, a bunch of nuns, and he's like, oh.
It's literally everything Dracula asked for is in that diner. It's so funny. Yeah, I loved it.
Everything. He's also got his chloroform, but the cops show up, so he tries to put it away, and he's like, oh no. And then who should show up after the cops? Teddy Lobos and his gang coming to try and kill the cops.
Yeah, literally, and they do like shoot up this place.
Yes, but and not before threatening Awkwafina and being like, hey.
Oh, of course, yeah.
We shot your dad. He begged for his life. Are you gonna beg? And she's like, no. Shoot me.
I love that moment because she clocks him as like someone he's a fail son. He's not done ever the dirty work, you know?
Never.
So she calls him on it. But he does then like, hey, kill her.
Yes, immediately.
You know? Yeah. Yeah.
So she stands up to him. She is like, I ain't doing your shit, right? A shootout ensues. It's a huge fight. Renfield watches him about to shoot her, eats a bug, pushes him out of the way. The fight is everywhere. He rips off a dude's arms.
Yeah.
Or he cuts a dude's arms off with a dinner tray. And when no one is left standing except basically him and Awkwafina and the customers, because he saved a number of customers.
Yeah.
She's like, did you just cut a guy's arms off? And he's like, yeah, adrenaline. And she's like, that's amazing. You're a fucking hero. All these people are alive basically because you intervened. So
yeah,
thank you. But this is where Dracula summons him back.
Yeah, I love the way this scene resolves because it's like a lot of action, and then you're really just following Awkwafina and Nicholas Holt's character, Renfield, because everyone else is like hiding behind tables and stuff. And then at the end of it, when everything's safe, it's just Nicholas Holt and Awkwafina talking. And then like out of nowhere, someone breaks in that's like, hey, is it cool if we like stop hiding or whatever?
Right.
I really love that because that would be like the reality of the moment, which is also kind of funny. I don't know. It made me laugh.
It was great.
Yeah.
But so he goes back to Dracula's lair and Dracula is like, here's my plans. World domination. We're just going to take over everything. And then half the people will be our food and half the people will be our servants. That's the way it should be. And Renfield's like, holy shit, that's bad. So he goes to the support group and he's like, it's bad. I'm in trouble. I want to talk. But he interrupts this one woman and he interrupts the same woman twice.
Yes.
But this one's like, fuck Carol, I guess. I hate her too. Because her name is Carol.
Yeah. No, Paige, she said, I can't remember if it was this time or the time before this when they interrupt her. If this is the first time, it was this time.
Yes.
Because she says, it's like I was living in a funhouse mirror,
yes,
but all the clowns were me.
All the clowns were. Every time right before he interrupts her, she says something wild like that.
It made me laugh because it's so sad. It's like,
yes,
oh my God. And then really it's okay, I hate her too, talking about herself. It's just so sad. And it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm broken and I have a little bit of a dark sense of humor, but I laugh so hard.
Oh, it cracks me up every time.
Yeah.
But this is where he's like trying to tell him about his boss, but without basically telling them that it's Dracula. And they're like, well, what happens if you don't do what he says? But like they list out, they're like, he's a narcissist, he's controlling. And then one guy goes, he controls rats with his mind, which Dracula does. But Renfield looks at him like, what? And then he's like, don't worry, he's on medication.
Yeah.
Like,
I really love the person who like leads the group.
Yes.
They do an amazing job.
So good. But
yeah,
he's like, if you don't help your boss, what'll happen? He won't grow to full power. And he's like, it's wild that you would phrase it like that, but okay.
That's such a weird way to say it, but yeah, he won't go to full power. Sure, we could say that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sure. But we cut to Nicholas Holt basically living his best life. He's got a great apartment.
Yeah.
We get like a montage of him painting and getting very cute kitty sheets.
Well, and it's also like everyone from the group is like showing up in his life and being supportive. Like he goes to the spa with one of them and one of them takes him to go shopping and gets him all these clothes that like his wardrobe's much more modern and brighter and like it is great. It's like what it is when you like are getting out of a really shitty toxic relationship and you like re-engage with like your friend group that you haven't seen in a while because you just haven't had time for your friends, you know,
right,
like that kind of thing. And it's great. And
yeah,
it's so fun to see that like story told in a montage like this.
Absolutely. But we cut back to the police station.
Yeah.
And Awkwafina comes in and is like, hey, there were like 6 cops that watched Teddy Lobos try to kill me and kill a bunch of people. That's enough to put him behind bars. But clearly all of you are on the payroll and no one's going to step up to help me. And then who should walk in with flowers but Renfield?
Yeah. He's here to give his witness statement, Paige.
There to give a witness statement.
Yeah. And I do love that they're like, why did you bring flowers? And he's like, they're for everybody. And he takes like the bouquet apart kind of and just starts handing out individual flowers. Right. And then when he gets to Awkwafina, he does like just hand her the whole bouquet. But it's very funny to me.
But he has a conversation with her where he basically is like, I'm very impressed by you because you stood up to him. Like he was going to kill you and you weren't afraid of him. You stood up to him. And she's like, well, yeah, so did you. And he's like, I think it's nice to do the right thing for once. And she's like, all right, keep doing it. We cut to the hospital where Dracula is like, where the hell is Renfield? Right? Like, yeah, where has he been? And we then cut to Awkwafina using that pen to try and get DNA off of it because she knows it was at the Lobos crime scene where they stole the drugs. She's like, maybe we can connect this pen to other things.
Which is also why she can't give it to anyone in her department, because her department's completely on the take, right? So she gives it to her sister.
Right. And because her department's completely on the take, and Ben Schwartz has come back to his mom and been like, this dude fucking killed everybody and ruined my plans. They're like, let's find him. We tracked him down to this hospital. So Teddy Lobos and his crew go to the hospital.
Yeah.
And Dracula is like, oh, I'm sorry. Did food just walk in? Are you guys like Postmates? Like what? Right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm Teddy fucking Lobo. And he's like, I'm Count Dracula. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna murder you. And he basically kills most of Teddy's henchmen.
Every one of them except for him.
Right.
But this is where he's like, are you the church or whatever? And he's like,
yeah.
No, I'm like a drug dealer. Like, I'm like, my whole organization is for evil.
Right.
And Ben Schwartz shows him his phone, and it's got Renfield on it, right? And they're like, we're looking for this guy.
Right, right.
And he's like, well, that's my servant. And he's like, well, he's not serving you very well. And so he punches Ben Schwartz across the room and then turns into bats and flies away into the night.
Right. And we cut to Renfield's apartment just as Renfield is coming home and calling Officer Quincy, aka Aquafina, and being like, hey, I was wondering if you wanted to go out to eat sometime. He never gets to finish leaving this message because by the time he gets into his apartment, Dracula is there because the doormat said, welcome, come on in.
So funny. I love the pan down to that and the pan back up to him and him going, shit, and then closing the door.
But this is another one of those scenes where Dracula essentially gaslights and turns this on Renfield, where he's like, oh, you were on the way? You were on the way to bring me bodies? Like, I'm the victim. You're a monster. You're a lawyer who wanted to get rich, and that's why you're doing this. I didn't make you do anything.
Yeah.
You chose to do this, and that's why you're the bad person.
Yeah.
I can't help it. I have to eat this way. Like, that it's wild, but it's perfect for that metaphor of like a gaslighting toxic relationship.
Yes, it is legit perfect.
Yes.
I really love this scene, even though like it just makes you hate Dracula, but he's Dracula. You're supposed to hate him.
Right. And at this point, Nicholas Hoult picks up the book from the group and he's like, I won't tolerate abuse anymore. I deserve love and happiness. And Dracula snatches it and is like, what the fuck is this? And sees the name of the group in the back of the book. And Nicholas Hoult now knows, oh no, he's about to go kill all of those people.
Yeah.
So he takes off. Cut to, the police are interviewing Caitlin and Doug's girlfriend because both of their boyfriends were murdered in that drug ring. And they're just having margaritas being like, yes, we're free.
They're having a party because their boyfriends are dead.
Right.
So what does that suggest? I mean, that's sad. Like, it's very sad.
The police ask them, how'd you guys meet? And they're like, oh, the support group at Live Spring Church. So everyone's about to converge in the same place.
Yes.
But we cut to the support group where Carol is again talking and she's like, I can identify love, but I don't deserve it. And I think that's part of the shame and the rash.
Yeah.
And then he runs in.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, great. Just fuck Carol. Like, fine. But Renfield is like, I need us all to leave now. Let's get somewhere safe until sunrise. Like, you've got to go. But before he can get anyone to leave, who should show up but Dracula? And he's like, no. And the host of the group says, come on in. Now, in Dracula lore, it's human homes. This is not a home, but it is a church.
Right?
Which could occasionally pose problems. So
it doesn't seem to bother Dracula at all when he's like on the premises.
No.
And I don't know if it would have stopped him from coming in because it's not a residence. I don't know. But like the group leader welcomes them in. So like, that gives them the right to come in.
Yeah. And I do love that he's like, you can go ahead and leave that top hat and cane by the door.
They said the exact same thing to me at prom, Paige. And you know what I didn't do? Leave anything by the door.
How are you supposed to dance with a cane?
Top hat on the cane over your head, spinning it. How do you dance, Paige?
I mostly just dip it low. Make sure guys know I'm down to go bug mode.
Okay. Yeah. So you're going to bounce on it crazy style. That's what I'm hearing. Okay, great.
Yeah, you're going to bounce on it crazy style.
Great.
So he introduces himself by a number of names that Dracula has been named in literary history.
Yeah.
But they call out, they're like, oh, you're Renfield's boss. And that infuriates him.
Yeah, because it's not him being the center of everything.
Yes. He murders everyone in that room.
Yeah, it's some real, I'm going to take your computer that you built into the woods and shoot it with a assault rifle kind of energy.
Yeah, it's a bloodbath.
Fully.
And Renfield is upset because those were his friends, right?
He literally went to the spa with them a few days ago.
Yes. And Dracula's like, look what you made me do.
Right?
It is absolutely it's the abuser saying, you made me hurt you. I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it as an abuse tactic. Love it within the story. It's done very well.
Yes, that's one of the reasons I love this movie is because that is how you know you're with a narcissist right there.
Yes. If someone ever says, look, you made me hurt you, fucking run.
Yeah.
Run. There's no saving that one.
Right.
But Renfield obviously feels terrible because these were his friends, and the police arrive and he surrenders. And he's basically like, I was trying to save them, but I delivered my monster right to them.
Yeah.
Like he followed me. He
Yeah.
But as they go to arrest him, all the other cops show up along with Teddy Lobos's mom.
Yeah.
And she's like, we got to find out what happened to Teddy because he's missing.
Yeah.
But also they're all there to basically kill Awkwafina and hand Nicholas Hoult over to Teddy Lobos's mom.
Yeah.
And so Awkwafina shoots the power lines, causing a shootout, piles him into the car. She does take a bullet and then they drive away. And Teddy Lobos's mom is like, I want the entire city on high alert. She's a fugitive now. Bring them to me and I'm going to kill both of them, essentially.
Yeah, because she essentially orders the police around, more or less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back at the hospital, Dracula comes back and Teddy Lobos is coming around, finally waking up.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, so you're in a crime family. Do you guys want to rule the world? And he's like, that's our whole thing, man. Yeah,
it's that's the one thing we want.
Yes. Dismantle, destroy,
engulf
in flames.
Yeah.
And he's like, I feel like you got to meet my mom. And he's like, all right, let's do it. We cut back to Renfield's apartment. Terrible safe house. Dracula knows where it is, but Awkwafina is recovering on the couch. And he's like, I'm still, as she wakes up, she points the gun. She's like, I'm still in your custody. And he handcuffs himself again, which I found very funny.
Yeah.
But he's like, here's some tea and cookies. I can explain everything. I don't like that he calls them snickerdoodles and they're clearly sprinkle cookies.
That's a script not meeting the set deck's requirements or vice versa, really.
Right. Because I'm like, in the moment, did you not just go sprinkle cookies?
You know what? They don't call them cookies.
Snickerdoodle's a funnier word.
It is.
But it's glaring on the screen.
But I don't think they call them cookies, right? Those are biscuits.
In England, they're biscuits, yes.
Yeah.
Which was extra confusing for me the one time I went to KFC in England and they didn't have biscuits.
Well, why would you want cookies with your chicken, Paige?
Exactly. But I'm like, they just don't have any, it's not like you're supposed to call them, they just don't have KFC biscuits. And that's the best thing at KFC is the biscuits.
Oh, so I honestly did not know that they didn't have a UK version of it.
Nope.
They don't even do an English muffin, Paige. What are we doing?
Like a scone or an English muffin? No,
guys,
nothing. Not even cornbread. Why even have a KFC?
I know. That's exactly what I was going to say. I was like, well, that's the only reason to go. Okay, well, whatever. Good luck, guys.
So last time I went to Japan, I did not go to KFC. I need to go this time and do some more research.
Paige, I demand when you do go to KFC in Japan, you take a picture of the Colonel Sanders you see there.
Yes.
And then come to any KFC in the U.S. and take a picture of the Colonel Sanders you see there.
Correct.
And then do a side-by-side comparison.
Yes, absolutely. I promise so to do.
Yes. Okay. Guys, honestly, just Google it. It's interesting and nuanced, and I don't understand it, but I'm not,
It is also, so KFC is also linked to the holidays in Japan. This is something I learned about the last time I was there.
Same.
And we just didn't have time to go to one.
Yeah.
And there was one that was a massive KFC that was like a cafeteria style, but apparently there's some syncretization between Colonel Sanders and Santa Claus.
Interesting. All right.
Or at least that was how it was explained to me.
Well,
people ate KFC for Christmas and you had to order it ahead of time. It was a huge thing.
That's some real do your own research energy, Paige, but listen.
I'm going to have to go.
Let's go. Let's do it.
I'm going to go see it. And then I'm going to go up to Colonel Sanders and tell him I've been good all year and I demand biscuits in my stocking.
You'll get a bunch of cookies, Paige.
Not in Japan.
I forgot where we were in the bit.
Anyway, back at her apartment, he kind of explains, he's like, I work for Dracula. And she's like, oh, that's fucking nuts. And he's like, hear me out. it's bad. I feel bad about everything that I have done. I eat bugs and that gives me powers. And I'm really sorry that like all this happened. But as she's having this conversation, she gets a phone call from her sister that's like, hey, that pen you brought me, this is DNA that we've been looking at for 70 to 80 years of murder all over the country.
Yeah.
And she realizes like, oh shit, he probably does work for Dracula. Like what?
Yeah.
Like how, what? Anyway, she tells her sister, meet us at Cafe Du Monde because the Lobos are after him too. We'll convene there and we'll figure out what to do. But just as they're about to walk out of the apartment, the cops show up.
Yeah, man.
And Renfield is like, I got to find a bug right now because he set all his bugs free.
He did.
Including putting one into an ant farm that his neighbor had. So he then goes back into that house, takes that ant farm and just knocks that whole thing back.
It's like he's shoveling sand into his mouth and like he's trying to get to the ant, and it's so funny. It's so funny to me. But he eventually does and kills a lot of cops in this moment.
Kills a lot of cops, rips a lot of arms, impales people on those arms. And I was like, as I was watching this, I was like, I remember one of these kills in the theater made me scream with glee, but I don't remember which one it was. And then he just reaches over and snatches a man's face off. And I was like, that was it.
That was it. That's the one. Yeah. The one that made it for me was the very first one, I think. And I think it's the one where Dracula flies into the mouth of the bishop looking dude and he just explodes everywhere. I was like, oh yes, this is going to be a crazy movie.
So good. But now there's a pile of bad guys.
Yeah.
And they take off. We then cut to the Lobos family headquarters where the police chief is like, I'm not going to mobilize my entire fleet to find Teddy. He's a fucking idiot. I'm out.
Yeah.
And he walks out into the hallway and says, hey, Teddy, I was just talking about you. And then his head rolls back into the room. It's great.
It is very great.
Teddy comes in and he's like, black out the windows. Mom, there's somebody I got you to meet. I need you to meet. It's fucking Dracula. And then he says, yeah, set the coffin right next to the head.
Yeah.
That's great.
I love it. He's like, it's literally fucking Dracula. He's like so excited to show his mom. It's great.
He's like, I finally did something, Mom. I've been getting my hands real dirty.
Yeah.
But we cut to Cafe Du Monde and Renfield and Awkwafina are having like a kind of a touching moment where Renfield is like, I'm not innocent. I have done a lot of bad things. And the only thing I can do to make any of it okay at this point is to try and stop more bad things from happening.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
There's no day like today, essentially, to try and actually stop this shit.
Yeah.
But her sister hasn't shown up and she's like, I'm going to call her. She calls and who should answer but Teddy Lobos' mom? Meanwhile, Dracula calls Renfield psychically and he's basically like, I know where all this shit is. You're going to have to come fucking get me, you mother. And you're just like, oh my God, no. He gets pulled and he meets Awkwafina out in front. And she's like, they've got my sister. And he's like, they got everybody. We got to go kill them. We basically have until sunset to gear up.
Yeah.
And so they grab as many like guns, stakes, etc. they can find. So many bugs. And he's just like mainlining bugs.
Yeah.
It's real gross.
Yeah, he's got to power up.
Right. But in the car, he's like, also, if we could find like a powder circle thing, I don't really know how it works, but the church brought it last time and like it seemed to do the trick, but like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, we'll save that for later.
But it's Chekhov's cocaine circle of stop.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does say to her, if I am in trouble, basically, if it looks like I'm going to die, save your sister.
Yeah. Whatever you do, save your sister.
Right. Do not go to extraordinary measures to save me. Save your sister. But they all arrive at the Lobos family headquarters. And what do you know it? Teddy Lobos is now a familiar. And everybody else of his henchmen that's still left alive, also familiars.
Man, when he snorts that centipede, I lost my mind. I was like, hell yeah, let's go. Ugh. Because this is setting up like a final fight between obviously Dracula and Renfield, but definitely Ben Schwartz and Renfield.
Yeah.
And I knew that was going to be a fun, silly romp.
Well, and it's a great fight scene.
It is great.
Like basically Renfield versus like 6 familiars. Plus Awkwafina's kind of running interference with guns. She pretends to be out and then has a shotgun.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how she gets Ben Schwartz, right? Because she shoots him in the chest.
Yeah.
And this is when you're like, oh, he's like full on familiar because like it doesn't super phase him. I mean, it knocks him across the room. He's down for like 3 seconds and he gets up, you know?
Right.
But she does like slow people down with her guns, which it sounds insane, but like that's all that guns are worth when you're fighting this type of thing, you know?
In this world, yeah. And I do love the conversation that Renfield and Ben Schwartz's character have where he's like, this is not powers. This is not a gift. This is a curse because you are his slave.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not a slave. Master told me.
Shit. Yeah.
He realized like, oh, damn it. But we then cut upstairs where we reveal, because Awkwafina has now made it upstairs. They do have her sister. Her sister is on death's doorstep.
It seems like she might like be dying currently. Yeah.
Yes.
And like clearly has been beaten and it was bad.
It was bad.
Yeah.
And Dracula is like, look, I could bring her back. Like, you just have to join me. Meanwhile, downstairs, Nicholas Hoult eats another bug and then he kicks Ben Schwartz so hard, he barfs blood and shits poop at the same time.
We actually see it's like an x-ray shot and we see like his spine breaking as the like sonic wave of the kick travels up his spine and it does expel the bowels and anything in the stomach is now being thrown up with the blood. It's so funny to me.
It's very, very cathartic and healing. But he then makes it up to upstairs where he is kind of confronting Awkwafina and he's like, no, I told you this is what he does.
Yeah.
He looks into your eyes and he knows the thing that you want so badly you'll compromise your morals for.
Yeah.
And she says, I don't care. If I lose myself, I have to get her back. He wants to be like you. He wants to find the light. But she uses this to get close enough to Dracula to then hit the shades button to open the shades, letting the last bits of sunlight in.
I really love that it's not an immediate thing. Like she hits the button and it doesn't shoot the shades up because it takes a little bit. So she hits the button and she's like, oh shit. And it like slowly starts to move them. And it eventually does burn him.
Right.
You know, but like it takes a second. I don't know why I thought that was so funny, but it's like kind of realistic because it takes those things a while, you know?
Yes. Well, and he turns into like a flurry of bats that are kind of burning. He knocks Renfield over.
It's really cool looking, honestly.
Yeah, but he flies into the torture room that Teddy Lobos' mom has that we saw earlier and immediately triggers the power. So Awkwafina, Nicholas Hoult are fighting him in the dark, and Renfield, just as he's about to bite Awkwafina, Dracula's about to bite Awkwafina. Renfield reaches around and takes the fangs through his hands.
Oh, man. And then rips them out of his face.
Right.
It's awesome.
And they grow back, but this is where he's like reliving the thing from the group of like, here's the thing with destructive relationships. You're the one with the real power. I gave you my power. I take it back. And he's beating the shit out of Dracula. And while he's doing that, that gives Awkwafina a chance to make the power circle.
Yes.
Where he like kicks him into it. And he's like, oh my God, where'd you find the power circle? And she's like, oh, Wiccan Tumbler. And he's like, what kind of powder was it? And she was like, cocaine. It turns out any powder works as long as you say the right words. And he's like, cool.
Thanks, Wiccan Tumbler.
Thanks, Wiccan Tumbler. And then they take weapons off the wall and beat the shit out of Dracula.
Yeah.
And then burn him. They use acid. They like cut him up and then like seal him in little cement squares and like dump him down into like the basement or whatever.
This is when the red smoke went up over the town of New Orleans and they realized that it was time that the Cardinal of Vampires
had chosen a new Dracula. Yes.
Yeah, they have to choose a new Dracula. Yeah.
But her sister's alive. She's like, hey, they said that you used vampire blood. And she's like, no. It was just a supplement. And she's like, okay, do they carry it at GNC? And she was like, yeah, absolutely.
Totally do. Yeah.
Totally do. But we cut back to the group therapy. And this is my favorite because he's like, thanks for bringing us all back with Dracula blood, even though on the other side we've seen things that we can't unsee.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
But then we cut over to the refreshment table and there's just like a Tupperware pitcher full of, and it just says Dracula blood.
Yeah. And that's the movie. I do want to say this about the last fight scene with Dracula.
Do it.
Because it bookends affirmations. Because at the beginning of the movie, when he's at the first, maybe not first, but he's at the support group. It's the first time we see him there, though.
Right.
He, in his voiceover, is like making fun of the affirmations they do. And at the end, that's what he's repeating to himself as he's punching Dracula in the face with his own fangs in his fists.
Yes.
Like the metaphor could not be more like on screen. And I kind of love that. But anyway, Paige.
Yes.
Having seen this movie, having talked about this movie, what did you think about Renfield?
I like Renfield. I liked it the first time. I liked it this time. I did look at, because I do know that this bombed, which we'll cover in box office.
Yeah, we will.
But the audience rating on this is like 6.4 stars out of 10.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Which is like not terrible, but not great. I feel like it's one of those things that like maybe didn't do as well in the box office and people will kind of discover it later. But I remember everyone who saw it in the theater with us that night loved it too. Like, you know, it's a fun, and it's 90 minutes. Like, if you're looking for an extra, just more fun, low-key thing to add to your spooky season roundup, this is a great thing to throw in there.
Yeah, honestly, I was sad that this didn't do better because I really, really liked it. And maybe that's a sign, just because like I'm scared by horror movies, and this one isn't really scary at all. It's a really fun like look at both like a codependent toxic relationship dynamic in this sort of heightened horror setting. And I loved it. It was very fun.
Agreed.
And also Ben Schwartz is amazing. He's very funny in pretty much everything. Like when his mom is like, you have till the end of the day to find and kill him. And he goes, give me 10 minutes. And she just like looks at him and he goes, no, I'll take the day. I'll take the day.
Yeah, I'll take the day.
Like that to me, I don't know if it was this, but that to me felt like he was just ad-libbing shit.
Yes.
And it worked really well. You know, like it was just so funny to me. Anyway, but Paige, do you have any fun facts for us?
Sure.
Well, here it is with your fun facts.
Renfield,
fun facts. It's easy when they're 2 syllables.
It's easier than 2 syllables.
Yeah.
Despite a history of turning down non-leading roles in studio films, Nicolas Cage signed on to play Dracula, saying that, quote, it was a lifelong dream of his to portray the legendary figure.
And I'll say this about his performance.
Yes.
It's my favorite Dracula performance of any other Dracula performance.
Of any other, like, specifically Dracula, I could see that, because there's, let's see, it was Gary Oldman who was the other one, and then Bela Lugosi, the original. But
right.
Yeah.
And I haven't actually seen that one. So like I was comparing it to just Dracula.
Right.
With the very horny one with Gary Oldman in the role of a lifetime. So,
but how do you feel about it against Count Orlok and his hanging dong?
I would put Count Orlok at the bottom.
Well, yeah, so that you could bounce on it crazy style?
No, not for me. Paige, I want that for you, but not for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want me going full bug mode. Got it.
Yeah. You definitely got to eat a spider before you get with Count Orlok. Or you're not going to make it till morning, which is what is required to kill a Nosferatu.
Yes. Anyway, Rebecca, a.k.a. Awkwafina's character.
Yeah.
Her father's full name is revealed to be Morris Quincy when we see his portrait on a wall.
We do. Yeah. It's revealed when we realize that he was a police officer that was killed.
Yes.
Which they do sort of early on, but it's all shown and not said, which I like.
Now, this is actually a reference to the character of Quincy Morris from the original novel, who is an American who joins the rest of the characters in defeating Dracula after Dracula kills his friend, Lucy Westenra.
Okay.
Which you may remember from the horny Gary Oldman version.
I don't remember much from that version.
Sure.
We've seen so many versions of this year that it's like, it's all one big mishmash.
So, in the original novel, Renfield is described as being at least the age of 59. Many adaptations, however, depict him as a younger man and also having a prior connection to Count Dracula before being locked up in an asylum that is overseen by Dr. John Seward. Seward. But that, just again, to get back to the original source material.
Honestly, the first time I thought you said his last name, I thought you said C-word, and I was like, his last name's Cunt?
Yeah.
That is the less famous improv rule of just yes.
Yeah.
No and.
No and. In an interview with the director, Chris McKay, the director, admitted that this film is supposed to be a direct sequel to Todd Browning's Dracula from 1931. He had attempted to have the film's trailers and poster refer to that. However, it didn't pan out, I'm guessing because of copyright concerns.
Huh, okay. Yeah, I don't know who owns the Dracula IP at this point, and maybe nobody, because it might be in public domain. I don't know.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Viacom, NBC Universal.
Okay. Well, this was a Universal picture.
Yep.
Yeah.
While promoting Season of the Witch in 2011, Nicolas Cage has said that his love for his co-star Sir Christopher Lee, R.I.P., is the reason that he makes horror movies. Christopher Lee obviously is considered one of the best actors to portray Dracula on screen. He portrayed Dracula in one of the 1970s versions of Dracula. Personally, my favorite Christopher Lee, and something that you might want to incorporate into your Harvest Spooky Movie Film Fest, is the original Wicker Man, the horny musical version.
It's a wonderful horny musical that he is great in. I like him a lot.
Yes. As I mentioned, the circumstances of Renfield meeting Dracula and falling under his control are presented as an extended reference to how Dracula in 1931 depicted these same events. And they do a great job of making it look like that 1931 version.
Yeah.
Several key shots are even recreated with Nicholas Hoult and Nicolas Cage in the place of Dwight Fry and Bela Lugosi. Likewise, they play music from Swan Lake, which is a shout out to the fact that the music was used for the opening credits of the 1931 movie.
Yeah.
So, as a huge Dracula fan, Nicolas Cage has said that he prepared for this role by reviewing all of the performances by Bela Lugosi, Frank Langella, and Gary Oldman, and saying, what can I bring that will be different? And here's the thing. He is different.
He is different, yes.
Right? He really does make it his own.
Yeah.
I do think he's got a little bit of the Peggy Sue Got Married voice in it, but like...
No notes?
I don't hate it,
Yeah.
right? No notes?
I think it's great.
Yeah, he's like, I've seen it played well, I've seen it played not so well, so what can we do? I'm thinking I want to really focus on the movement of the character and the perfect tone of comedy and horror, and I think he kind of nails it.
I'm not being jokey. Like, I really do think he nails it. I think it's very different because this is going to sound crazy. It's not at all sexual.
No.
And so many of the other Draculas, at least that I've seen, are like horny AF.
Love it.
And this dude just really wants his servant to bring his dinner on time. All he's asking for, Paige, is for like 11 or 12 people.
Yes.
God.
Yeah. It's so, I mean, your performance review, I'm gonna give you a developing rating.
Oh, yeah.
But, because this is another one where you really liked 30 Days of Night as well. That's another non-sexual vampire depiction where they are a lot more animalistic. And I feel like this combines some of that, including the teeth, with this is almost corporate Dracula, and I don't hate it. I think it's really funny.
Yeah. In a company of vampires, this Dracula's never getting reported to HR.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Peggy Sue Got Married.
What? Okay.
Trust. When Nicolas Cage's uncle, Francis Ford Coppola,
of course,
directed Dracula in 1992, you may remember it, we've done it before, the studio wanted Nicolas Cage to play Jonathan Harker instead of Keanu Reeves.
What?
But his uncle, his own-ass uncle, Francis Ford Coppola, did not want to work with him again after their bad experience on Peggy Sue Got Married.
I mean, I get it. Yeah.
And I'll end on this one because we have Dracula out this month.
We have.
And for listener requests, surprise us, do a different vampire one. But Renfield syndrome, also known as clinical vampirism, is a rare psychiatric disorder where an individual has an intense fascination with drinking blood or believing themselves to be a vampire.
Oh, so she's just like a goth chick? Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
The vampires, if you've been...
Paige, last podcast on the left.
If you've been listening to last podcast on the left.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
Can I tell you, because we did on Cult Podcast way back in the day, we did a Kentucky Vampires episode.
Oh, did you?
Yes, and as a result, a listener sent me an almost complete set of Vampire the Masquerade books for playing, which I have. They're in my office.
Amazing.
I have kept them this entire time.
Masquerade. Painted faces on parade, Page.
That's what's up. Anyway, the syndrome is named after the character R.M. Renfield from Bram Stoker's novel Dracula, who obviously consumed live insects to obtain their life force.
Yeah.
And those are your fun facts.
Well, thank you for those fun facts, Paige. Let's talk a little bit about box office. And you may know, what do you think the production budget was for Renfield in 2023?
I don't know for sure, but this looks like it probably cost about 30 mil.
Paige. The one source I could find, so it's just one source, know that going in, but it's probably somewhere directionally accurate, was $86.2 million.
Jesus Christ. Oh, no. A movie like this should not cost that much. And as much as I love this movie and it is great, that's way too much for this kind of a movie. It's never going to see that kind of return.
And it didn't, Paige. We will definitely talk about that. But if you adjust that for inflation, that turns that $86.2 million into like $91.3 million. Now, this movie did premiere on the weekend of April 14th, 2023. It was fourth in the box office the week it came out. And it was beat by the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Number 2 was The Pope's Exorcist. That premiered that week. Number 3 was John Wick Chapter 4. Number 4 was obviously Renfield. And number 5 was Air. What do you think Renfield brought in its opening week, Paige?
Oh, man. We saw it opening week.
I think we may have seen it a little bit before opening week at Panic Fest.
That is entirely possible.
Yeah.
Gosh, opening week, I'm going to say this brought in $12 million.
Paige, you're close, but it was only $8 million. Just over $8 million, which again, if the figure of $86 million budget is correct, that's not even quite a tenth of the budget, which is not great, especially when you're only in the theaters for 5 weeks and are never again in the top 5. And after your second weekend are not even in the top 10 anymore. So the movie was only in like a wide release of theaters for its first 2 weeks. And then they kind of pulled it to about half and then down to like just 400 theaters and then 100, and then it was out. It was out so quick. Anyway, so Paige, do you know what it made domestically at the box office? Or
I don't. I just know it was bad.
Yeah, I'm happy to tell you well, I'm not happy to tell you. I wish it made a lot more, but if you don't want to guess, it's 17.2, almost $17.3 million. Again,
I was going to guess 24. 17 is even worse. Oh my God.
Yeah, 24 is actually close if you include the international, which it did make $9.5 million in.
No.
So that put it up at $26.8 million. And it has made 1.7 in domestic video sales.
Sure.
But it has not been picked up by any streamer that's not Peacock. And it's not on Peacock right now just because they do this thing where they do this for a lot of the Universal movies. They'll come to Peacock immediately after they're out of theaters.
Right.
And then it's there for like 3 months, and then it goes away from Peacock and onto Prime Video for a year.
Right.
And then it comes back to Peacock. It's infuriating, but I understand whatever. I hate it. Just leave it on Peacock. I want to watch it for free.
Right.
Anyway, but I don't think it's made money in like the streaming life or anything like that, because it's not been on anything that would have had to pay to have it, I guess is all I'm saying.
Right.
So it's definitely not been profitable, and it kind of breaks my heart because I love this movie, but we're definitely never getting another one like it.
No,
and
of
I'm
course.
very sad about that. Anyway, that's your box office page. Do you want to hit us with that scary scale?
Sure. Our scary scale is a scale of how scary we found the film today when we watched it, with 1 being Ghostbusters and 10 being Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Todd.
It's definitely a 1, which I'm grateful for, but I realize that people actually like it when I'm scared, but it was a 1.
It's a 1 for me as well, and that's your scary scale.
Yeah.
Hey, Todd, do you have any reviews for us?
I do. This week, I'm going to read one of our Spotify comments off of our most recent Nosferatu episode, and this one's from Rebecca, and they say, Todd, as someone who comes from a very big Irish family, and then in parentheses it says, Nan was one of 11 kids, end parentheses.
Damn.
I get told I'm loud all the damn time, especially when I'm excited. I feel your pain. I see you. And part of the reason that I love this podcast is the loud personalities of the hosts.
Yay.
Yeah, because I am also a loud personality. Heart, 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 heart emoji, 4 heart emojis. Obviously, it's love, 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 you guys, and keep up the awesome work. And Rebecca, thank you so much for saying that. I can't remember what I said that like triggered that, but thank you so much. That's very kind. I appreciate it. And if you want to have us read your Spotify comment or 5-star Apple review, please leave us one of those things and I'll do just that. So guys, if you like this show but want to hear Paige and I talk about romantic comedies or just regular romantic movies, check out our other podcast. Some might call it a sister podcast called Romancing the Pod, where we do just that weekly. It's a lot like this show, but for romance and romantic comedies, because Paige doesn't like them. So we make her watch them, just like you guys make me watch horror over here. But if you want to follow me, I am at Todd J. Awesome on all the social media. Paige is at Rampage Wesley on Instagram?
Yes, and TikTok.
And just Paige Wesley on Twitter, because you got that before some CEO lady and she wanted it, but you wouldn't give it back, and I respect you for that.
Refuse.
Also, Paige
Suck it, other Paige Wesley.
Paige is also on another podcast. It's great. You should check it out. It's called Cult Podcast with Armando Torres, who is a wonderful person. And guys, we got a P.O. box. So if you want to send us some love letters or whatever you might send to a P.O. box, it's actually not a P.O. box. It's like a regular street address. It's pretty awesome. It's 6688 Nolensville Road, number 108-34, Brentwood, Tennessee 37027. So send us some stuff. And if you want to support this show, go to Patreon at patreon.com/horrorvirgin, where there are a lot of great levels and a lot of great things. We do the Patreon shout-outs at the beginning of every episode. We do listener requests, stuff like that, bonus episodes. So you'll be getting all of that content, plus episodes a day early with no ads, and who doesn't love that? So sign up for the Patreon and get a lot of great stuff.
And that's going to be it for us, you guys. I'm Paige.
And I'm your horror virgin, Todd.
Keep it ooky spooky.
Yeah. Have an amazing week, guys. Bye. Get yourself out of toxic relationships, nerds.